Now let's look at this figure 15-14A that comes from Stallcup's Electrical Design Book, Volume 2. And let's look at and review adding a load to an existing service that's been calculated for us. And before we do that, though, let's go over to page 81 if you have the first printing of the code. And if you don't, we'll just go over and look at 220.87 if the page numbers change a little. In 220.87, the title head is determining existing loads. And it says the calculation of a feeder or service load. For maximum existing installation shall be permitted to use an actual maximum demand to determine the existing load under any of the following conditions. So instead of the long standard calculation that we just looked at previously, they're going to let you size it off of a demand. So just kind of paraphrasing this exception, it's a lot of wording there. They're just saying that you can call the utility, and if the utility is willing, they will give you the maximum demand reach for a 15-minute period, and you would take that as your demand. If you can't obtain this from the utility, then you can put a demand meter on it and read it for 30 days, and again, take the 15-minute maximum reached kilowatts used, and that's exactly what you would use in your calculation. Now, notice number 2 now. On page 81, right-hand side of the page, or looking at your 220.87, and item 2 says the maximum demand at 125% plus the new load does not exceed the amperage of the feeder or rating of the service. And 3, the feeder has overcurrent protection in accordance with 240.4, and the service has overload protection in accordance with 230.90. And then the exception basically states the feeder or service has any renewable energy systems, then they should not be figured in the calculation, is basically what the exception is saying, because there's no way to tell how to get a accurate reading on just exactly what is used when you have an alternate power source tied in with the utility, such as, or just tied into your panel board, that may be a wind generator, it may be a PV system, it may be a battery system of some sort, or a generator. So this is basically what the exception is talking about. Now, with that in mind, let's just say that you wanted to add a load of 15.1 kVA, and you wanted to add that without changing out or re-pulling the 400 kc mil THW copper end conductors you see in the illustration. You don't want to have to change a breaker or change any of the guts out of the panel, or maybe even install a new panel board, and you want to see if it could be added. So the existing service panel, you've either got that demand from the utility, or you put a demand meter on it, and you come up with 78.4 kVA load. Now you have met the 230.87 along with the exception there, see, if you were applying it. But we're just wanting to look at the service here. So now with that in mind, we have the information given to us, and notice it's a 208 volt 3-phase 4-wire system. We have enough information given here now that we can go to the calculation itself in this next coming up video, okay?